Hey there everyone, Dr. Beth Westy here, and tonight I'm going to talk about stress and your hormones, which I'm sure you're thinking, I've been experiencing a little bit of this, right? Okay, so this is, again, just for us ladies out there, and this is really focused on women that have an active cycle right now because that can change with all of the stress that people are experiencing. Yep, things are seeming to change day to day around here, right? Around everywhere. Things are changing day to day. It's not funny. It's not funny. I'm sorry. Everybody has different reactions to stress. But I'm going to talk about how this can affect your hormones and just some things to, keep in mind over the next few weeks or month to pay attention to your body so that you make sure you're taking care of your system as well as possible and you don't get worried if things are a little different through the stressful time. So very, very normal to have this happen. Please also share this information with other women that you know, because a lot of women don't know this. And a lot of women can really get concerned or worried when things shift and change with their bodies and you're not prepared for it or don't understand it, or right? So again, my mission and goal is to get this information out to women so you can make these changes and be prepared in advance so you understand, like, oh, there we go. I got it. Hi, Katie. Okay, so stress and hormones, and I'm going to talk about the cycle just a little bit here, but I mean, really, we as a society here, I live in Minneapolis, we live life at like 100 miles an hour. So yes, of course, stress always can impact hormones at our normal everyday pace. And you might be thinking, we just downshifted big time, right? But that quote unquote downshift can often actually mean more stress on your body and system because you're shifting and changing your normal routines. You're going to a new routine. Things are changing every day, right? There's a lot of uncertainty for a lot of people. And that can cause even more stress. Even if you're not going anywhere or doing anything, it's causing a lot more stress in your body, in your system. And that can shift and change your hormones. I mean, we all have had a time where like you've been really stressed out and you skipped a period or been late, right? And then that causes even more stress, right? Or you've had a lot of stress at work or school or something, and then all of a sudden you go on vacation and your period comes early. What? Why? I wasn't supposed to get my period on vacation. Why is it here? Right? Or you even get sick on vacation. That's because the way your system is responding to that shift in stress. So really, really important to keep in mind that, hey, this change, it's not a negative change per se. I just, it will shift and change. This can be a normal change, but be aware of this in terms of shifting and looking at your health, self-care, reducing stress, all this stuff. Your body will tell you how stressed you are. It will give you the signs and signals of it. Yes, it will. So change from normal schedules can shift and change your hormones, right? Even if it's a downshift from that 100 miles an hour that we normally have. So when we're looking at hormonal imbalances overall, right, this is the normal hormonal cycle. Day 1 is the first day of your period. Day 14 is about when you ovulate. Day 28 is when that ends. And when you're going through this normal estrogen and progesterone phase here, a lot of times you might feel like, oh yeah, normally I feel like this at this point, or I get cravings really bad here, or I don't sleep as well, or my belly bloat gets worse here, all that stuff, right? And these are all things that I actually teach you how to work with a lot better in the 12-week challenge. So I'm going to put a link right here. Right now we are doing phone calls. For those of you that are looking at joining the 12-week challenge, you can schedule a call with my team to really understand more about eating for your hormones in your cycle, getting that regulated, and taking care of your body. So if this is something that you really want to work on, and again, we are filling up with this program, so schedule a call, and we're going to probably have to stop taking calls pretty soon because we're going to be full for the group. Yeah, that cycle will disappear, boost stress, right, Amber? Yes, yeah, totally. So when we're looking at this hormonal imbalance, though, this is, again, not a perfect picture, but it's about, what happens throughout the month for women. And if this shifts, right, a lot of people will think, there's something wrong with my period and my hormones, everything else. It's not necessarily always just this. Sometimes we have to look upstream, We have to look at the root cause of what's causing the imbalance and where that's coming from and actually work on that instead. So with the stress that a lot of people are experiencing right now, that's what I want you to think about, especially if your cycle starts getting messed up here in the next week, 2 weeks, month, whatever it is. Again, if you're like, I'm doing fine, I just had my period, I'm great, super. But keep this in mind for a month down the road because, again, for women, things don't always happen immediately. We learned that's why I have a 12-week challenge. I work with women for 12 weeks. That's a hormonal cycle. That's a hormonal phase. Yeah, it takes longer for our bodies because we have 4 different bodies throughout the month. Yeah, we do. It's fun, right? If this is the first time you're hearing this, yeah, we have 4 different bodies throughout the month. Our bodies change week to week. Yeah, super great, right? So we're going to be focused on looking at the origin, at the start, the cause of what's going on to cause that hormonal imbalance and to really work with that. That's where looking at stress in general and how that can shift your hormones in your period comes into play, right? Overall, when we look at stress too, causes of stress, right? Everybody's thinking the emotional stress, the physical stress, like working out too much, not eating enough is stressful on the female body. Overstimulation of any kind. So if you're binge watching the news or something, that's a lot of overstimulation. That's probably not necessary right now. So what is, when we're looking at having your period start day 1, what is late? If your period is 5 days past due, that's considered late, right? Or you could skip your period completely. How does that happen? Why does that happen? All that stuff. Essentially, it starts in your brain. The same triggers that cause the trickle-down effect of hormones and everything else to function and react like they should. Your brain is like the master controller of everything. And then your spinal cord and nerves get that information everywhere in your body. And there's your science lesson for the day if you're homeschooling right now. But if something shifts and changes in your brain, then you really need to understand that, okay, the trickle-down effect may change here too. That means that your brain is telling your body right here at this point, okay, start your period here and ovulate here. If you don't ovulate here, oftentimes your body is waiting for that to happen before it'll start over again. Meaning, the same thing that controls the brain function, it's your hypothalamus in your brain, is also, it houses your stress response, your fight or flight, everything else. It houses your stress response. Hypothalamus, stress response, stored up in there, right in the middle, there. Also tells your body when to ovulate. It also tells your body when to shift hormones. What? Yes. So that means that if your body is super stressed and you're supposed to ovulate at day 14 and your brain is like, nope, stressed out time. It's not going to ovulate at this time. It's going to wait. It's going to shut down ovulation. You're actually not going to ovulate, which means that your cycle can just be, and you're like, oh my God, I'm on day 36. Am I okay? What's happening? You're okay. Just realize that your cycle may be off and it may be tracking on a different pattern from there on out. Meaning it might fall into like 28 days after that if you're doing a lot of really good self-care. Or it might be a longer period for a couple of periods, or, you might just skip it completely and go back because your body didn't ovulate and you're like, oh, I don't know what's happening, right? That's okay. Of course, with everybody being contained a little more, make sure you're not pregnant if you're ovulating. Just saying. People are buying toilet paper, but I don't know if pregnancy tests are flying off the shelves. We'll wait 2 weeks for that. But that's really why your body would be late and why you would maybe be late for your period to start or skip it completely is because the same place, your hypothalamus that holds that stress response, that fight or flight response, is also in charge of the ovulation switch. And so it's so busy trying to make sure that you're alive and that things are okay. It might forget to turn that switch and then things would be off from there. So not that you couldn't, get things back on track or, restore things and everything else. And again, I talk about, in my book, The Female Fat Solution, this is on Amazon. I talk about nutrition that matches your hormones in the cycle. This is a really important time to really regulate your hormones. Give your system a pattern to go off of with your food, your nutrition. Seed cycling. If you guys aren't familiar with that, drop a comment below and I can talk more about seed cycling and how this can help with the stress and hormone piece if you want. But seed cycling is going to be really important now more than ever to help regulate and keep this on track for you. This is going to keep you healthier overall. Yesterday I talked about immune health and hormones, so if you missed that video, go back and watch it. But really, really essential to do that. And then other resources I have for you, my podcast, The Female Health Solution, has a lot of resources for you, as well as my YouTube channel, which is just called Dr. Beth Westy. You can subscribe to that to stay updated on all the information I have for you. But that's a lot, right? That's a lot to learn about. So hopefully this is helpful for you. If you learned something, please share this with someone so they understand, oh my God, no wonder why I was late. Oh, holy cow. Okay, that makes sense. But if you need help or if you want to work on this, this is where, again, the 12-week challenge that we are still doing calls for. We only have a few slots left here. But if you're looking at doing something to work with your hormones and nutrition, that would be the 12-week challenge. So go in the comments, click that link, sign up for a call with my team. Yes, and we'll go from there. So also let me know your other questions and anything else I can help you with. I've gotten a lot of good messages from women really letting me know where they're struggling and what they're needing. So again, where this came from, if you're needing help, let me know, and I am loving to be a resource for you, especially when it comes to hormones and stress and immune and everything. So, all right, have a great rest of your night. I will see you guys later.